Well, good afternoon, everyone. It is May 17th, and I'd like to call to order the regular council meeting for the town of Rocky Mountain House. So 2.1 adoption of the agenda for the 17th of May regular council meeting. Did anyone have any deletions or additions to today's agenda? Do you need a minute? Councillor Fraser.
I will move to approve the agenda as presented.
Thank you very much. All in favor? And that's carried. So today I see we have a delegation from West Central High School, the SAGA. And as listed on our agenda, is not quite right. Stasia Ullman couldn't be here today. So we have 3 other delegates, Kiana Irwin, Elizabeth Barnett, and Dalen Evans. And welcome, and feel free to sit at the 3 chairs there. And there is a middle button that turns your microphone on and turns red when it's working. Yeah, you see how it turns red? You're live.
Hi, we are delegates from the Gay Straight Alliance, or SAGA, the Straight and Gay Acceptance or Sexuality and Gender Acceptance Club in West Central High School. Today is International Day Against Homophobia and Transphobia, and next month is June is Pride Month, and we would like to formally request that the town flies a pride flag for the whole month of June.
And thank you very much. Could I just clarify, what does SAGA stand for again?
It's debated between the club, but we usually land on sexuality and gender acceptance.
Thank you very much. Well, thank you so much for coming today and bringing, and today is the official day?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's perfect. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you bringing that to our attention today. Is there anything else you'd like to tell us about your group and that's at the high school?
Yeah. We mostly just push for acceptance within the school and the community, hosting small events where we can.
We haven't been able to do many of them since COVID hit, but it's mostly just like a place where people under this acronym can be like,
Can feel safe
and
and accepted.
Yeah, at this point.
Oh, that's wonderful that you're doing that at your school. Councillor Fraser, did you have a question or a comment?
I know I should know this, but how long have you guys, has SAGA been in effect? I know that there's kind of been ebbs and flows, but how long, do you know how long?
It's been a few years. It was established, I believe, 3 years before we came into the school. So that would be 7 years ago.
Yeah.
And it was established by students. And I think Miss Ullman Stasia Ullman was also a founding.
Yeah, she's kind of the head of the group.
And just to comment on their events, they do some fundraising. They paid for all of the paintbrushes for the Pride Walk. They did a bake sale, I think, for it. So thank you.
Do we have any other counselors that have questions or comments for our delegation today? Well, thank you very much for coming today and presenting. Have a great day, and just shut your mic off. Perfect. Thank you again. I really appreciate you coming today. Okay. So moving forward on the agenda, 4.1, to adopt the regular council meeting minutes of May 3rd, 2022. Does anyone have any changes, omissions for those minutes? Okay, thank you very much. Councillor Phillips.
I'll make a motion that we adopt the minutes of the May 3rd meeting.
Very good. See no other further comments. All in favor? And that's carried. So 5.1 delegation business, West Central High School SAGA, and we just heard from 3 delegates. and they're asking to put up the pride flag in front of town office. And so that's open for discussion. Counselor Fraser and then Counselor Phillips.
I just want it, they came as a delegation. It falls in line with our flag policy. I think it falls in line with the policy of being an open and diverse and inclusive community. We have the additional flagpole available for it. We have, I guess, solved the issue of the height of the flagpole. So I think visibility is so important, especially to youth in the community who aren't at the stage where they can go off and be themselves. And it means a lot to, it means a lot to students who have either struggles or who are concerned about being who they are, dressing how they want to dress, feeling how they want to feel, and loving who they want to love. And I think this is an incredibly small but powerful way that we can support those youth in our community. So I think we should absolutely do that.
Thank you very much, Counselor Phillips.
I agree with Councillor Fraser that, you know, Rocky Mountain House is an inclusive community for sure. My question probably more directed at Min. I know we have the Ukrainian flag up there now, and I'm not sure exactly when the end date for that flag is. And a second question would be, are there any other requests for the month of June as well?
So your worship, to Councillor Deputy Mayor Phillips. So the Ukrainian flag council has asked us to fly until the end of May. So at the end of May, it'll come down. Council grants this request. What we'll do is we'll shift the Alberta Treaty 6 and Métis flag to the left and put up the pride flag on the far right.
So-
And we have not received any other requests for any flags for the month of June.
And that, that just follows protocol. So what we'll do is, instead of replacing other flags, we will keep the town Rocky Mountain House flag down so that we can make that happen. Is that correct?
That's correct, your worship.
Okay, thank you very much. Counselor Phillips, or sorry, Counselor Alt.
I just want to echo Marin's comments. The fact that these young folks are here today is very impressive to me, and I think we need to do everything we can to support them in the school and their future endeavors for sure.
Thank you very much. Counselor Boniface.
I also agree that we need to be supportive, and I mean, kudos to 3 young people coming in to make this presentation, but it will not only show our support of the youth, but also the adults in our community. And so I think it's important that we follow through with this.
Thank you very much. Counselor Fraser, you had a follow-up?
I was just gonna say, if there is no further discussion.
Well,
There
I would
is a-
like, I
okay,
would
yeah.
like to have a chance to
No,
talk.
sorry.
And then I'll get to you, but if, yeah, so I agree as well that it's a great to be able to be open in our community and show that we're inclusive to all members of our community. And it does show adults as well as students that all are welcome. I feel very strongly about the Ukrainian flag that's currently flying, and I'm just wondering if it could go back up on the 1st of July to continue on as their struggles are still continuing in Europe. Does anybody have a problem with that if we did it because we're setting a timeline, right? So 1 month, and then we could put the Ukrainian flag back up again? Does that sound fair and reasonable to everyone? Counselor Ald and then Counselor Hutchinson.
I wouldn't have a problem with that as long as it's barring any other flag requests coming in at that time.
Counselor Hutchinson.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, it's something that we could definitely discuss at our last June meeting and then set the dates again, because we had problems with dates. So revisit it maybe in the final June meeting.
Okay. Did you want to make your motion now, Counselor Fraser?
If there is no further discussion, I would like to move that the town of Rocky Mountain House fly the pride flag on our special event flagpole for the month of June, as it is Pride Month.
Thank you very much. All in favor? And that's carried. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
So we have no old business. Moving to new business. We have an RFD for town-owned land purchase prices. And I see we have Jean Schwader to discuss that.
Excuse me.
Oh, Counselor Ald.
I'm just going to recuse myself for 7.1 just due to possible interest in the land.
Okay, thank you very much. Do you want to shut my mouth?
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Schwader, please proceed.
Good afternoon, Mayor Bache and Council. I'm here before you in regards to some of our town assets and lots that we presently own and list as far as selling. The lots that are before council is the town highway commercial lots on 598, lots 1 to 3, block 4, plan 1425012, and the old recreation building located on 4511 42nd Street, plan 8122535, block 64, lot 4 and 5. As far as our town-owned land policy, there's 4 ways that we can determine the price of our assets. One is actual base cost, comparative analysis, appraised value by qualified appraiser, or assessment. I'm before council today for listing the prices as far as our assessment value. Accurate Assessment did a review in 2021, and the attached assessments are there for the old rec building as well as the 3 highway commercial lots. We have listed the highway commercial lots over the last couple of years for the value of 279,680. No, sorry, 279,900. And Accurate Assessment Group has assessed them at 236,680 and 235,040. The old recreation building, we did get it appraised in 2019 for $690,000. It was appraised in 2020 at $634,000, and in 2019 it was $831,000. So the assessed value of it as of 2021 is for both lots is $789,880. Any questions?
And so today you're asking us to set the sale price at the assessed value for the 3 commercial lots and for the rec building?
That is correct, Mayor Beach.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions with that? Or comments? Counselor Phillips?
No, just I think this is a good idea. We have our assessed values for a reason, and this is a good use of them.
Okay, so would anyone like to make a motion? Counselor Hutchinson,
So the first motion.
your mic.
The first motion, be it resolved that council approves the sale price of 236,680 for lot 1 and 2, block 4, plan 1425012, and $235,040 for lot 3, block 4, plan 1425012.
Thank you very much. All in favor? And that's carried. Councilor Hutchinson, did you want to make the second resolution?
Sure. Be it resolved that council approves the sale price of $789,880 for lot 4 and 5, block 64, plan 8122535.
Should it say the building on there, or is that?
Well, no, the lot plan is sufficient.
Thank you. And that's great. All in favor of the motion? And that's carried. Thank you very much. So continuing forward, correspondence for action, 8.1 Black Falls Days, 2022 parade invitation. So I lost my clicker. So the town of Black Falls has invited the town of Rocky Mountain House to participate in their parade on Saturday, June 18th at 11 a.m. And of course, we now have a really special event in our community happening. I'm really excited for it. It's been a while since we've been able to host a trade fair. And so I'm pretty excited that Chamber's done so much work to, in a short period of time, put that together. And I certainly hope everybody comes out to that. So, however, I feel that it would be, I would like to attend the Black Falls parade as a representative of our town Rocky Mountain House. And I know that we've all set times to participate at the trade fair, and it wouldn't interfere with Tracy and I went over that yesterday, wouldn't interfere with my duties to appear for that. So do we have any further questions? Counselor Auld?
Just a comment. When we're attending these parades, I think it would be prudent if we used and ran the town vehicle in these functions. So as long as that was happening, I'd be good with that.
So I've actually talked to Counselor Daryl Reeve, the Reeve, and we're going to use a classic car and hang signs on the side of it. That's like a convertible classic car. Just be sort of more entertaining. I think that the town car would be, at the trade fair for advertising would be sufficient, if that sounds fair and reasonable. Counselor Phillips, did you have something to say?
I did. I was just going to agree with Councillor Auld. I pre-COVID, back in the days when we could have these parades, I did attend the Pinoca parade, and I used the town of Rocky Mountain House car, and it's very good advertising to have that in other communities' parades. I just think it's a good idea if we can, if possible, to use our town vehicle, because that's why it's made that way. It's a big billboard.
Right. Counselor Boniface?
Do we not feel that having signage on a classic car would also do the same thing? I'm just wondering if somebody's, a minivan's a minivan, a 65 Cadillac is something, so just asking.
Thank you. I sure would like to be in a classic car. No offense to our town car, and it does do nice advertising, but for this situation, if it works out, that's what I would prefer.
In this particular case, the plans have already been set for it. In the future, I would just like to have that come back to council for a council discussion as opposed to an individual decision, just so that council has the time to debate it and decide.
Counselor Hutchinson?
And I agree with you, Councillor Phillips, but I do see kind of an advantage to having the mayor and the Reeve in the same vehicle together, just to promote the next step in the Stronger Together agreement that we do have. And I guess depending on what the signage is on the vehicle, but I think it will get noticed fairly well if it's something that Shane was referring to for a vehicle.
Yeah.
But I agree with you that on a go forward basis, it should be discussed what we will be entering to have into a parade. So.
Yeah, so nothing's been entered yet. It's just, that's why we're having the discussion. Yeah.
Your worship, I just also wanted to add that we got a late email on Friday, so after the agenda came out. And you've also been invited to the Innisfail Parade, which is also June 18th. So I just wanted to mention that.
And we've also been invited to the Eckville Parade and the Sylvan Lake Parade, and they're on the same day as the Rocky Rodeo Parade. And we will be getting an invitation to the Rocky Rodeo Parade soon as Jeanette gets the email to us. It's just a busy parade month. Are we normally?
Yeah,
Just
so your worship, normally we are formally invited to attend a parade.
Okay, all right. And then typically when that happens, does the town of Rocky ever do its own float, or it's just up to council to how they want to proceed in the past?
In the past, your worship, that was the purpose of buying the town vehicles, so it could be predominant in those parades.
Ah, okay. Thank you very much. Counselor Boniface?
Since nothing's been decided, is this something we like? Because I think we all agree that the Rocky car was, as Mr. Crow said, was purchased for parades, but also the idea that you have is also good. So is it something that needs to be discussed and voted on so that we do the right thing that everybody's happy with?
Counselor, oh, sorry, Counselor Phillips and then Counselor Fraser.
Yeah, I would think we would need to make a resolution to, just to say that Mayor Beach would be going to the parade. Right?
Counselor Phillips?
I'll make a motion that Mayor Beach attend the Black Fall Days Parade on Saturday, June 18th at 11 a.m.
Thank you very much. All in favor? For the many contributions to our province. Seniors Week 2022 is June 6th to 12th and will be kicked off with a provincial launch event co-hosted by the town of Tabor on June 6th. Seniors and Housing encourages communities, organizations, and all Albertans to take opportunity to recognize and celebrate seniors throughout Seniors Week. So, and then we're to notify the province of our declaration before June 2nd so that it can be put on the website. Did anyone have any? Sorry, Counselor Hutchinson, thank you.
I know being on the senior housing board, we've already had some discussions about events and things going on for that week. So do we need a motion on this?
So your worship, yeah, so for declaring it Seniors Week, we do, this request comes to us annually from the provincial government. And the town is always reciprocated in declaring it because there is a lot of events that go on in town during Seniors Week through seniors housing or FCSS and so forth.
Okay, having said that, then I would like to make the motion to declare Seniors Week, June 6th to June 12th in the town of Rocky Mountain House.
Thank you very much. There's no further discussion. Whether in
Your worship, that's just for council information that the administration has responded to council's resolution of granting those requests.
Counselor Ald.
If there's no discussion on that, I'll accept 9.1 to 9.8 for information.
Thank you very much.
Yep, thank you, Worship. So I'll just go through some highlights from the CAO and Ledge Services and Communication. So some of the main points, we've been working with the library to update our administrative agreement for services we provide to the library. And we just actually signed it today. The original agreement was from 1999. So it needed modernization, and working with the library, that's been updated. We met with the county and MPE engineering to analyze the usage of the lagoon by county businesses and residents, and they are going to work on a formula for the cost share of the new facility. That's going to involve some sampling and data gathering. So that'll be complete late fall for council's consideration. I did meet with Fortis in regards to the upcoming franchise agreement. And as council is aware, I sent out an email today. They want to just have a lunch with the mayor, deputy mayor for introductions, and then they will actually be doing a presentation to all of council on Fortis and the franchise agreement. So that franchise agreement expires in 2023. And we have to approve the extension of that by the end of this year. So if council wishes to renew it. Not on my report, but oh, well, it is on my report. I attended the Society of Local Government Managers annual workshop. So that's a gathering of CAOs and directors across Alberta. It's a great little conference. Mr. Schwader and Ms. Quinlan attended with me. The sessions I took in was a presentation by George Cuff on staff and council relations. Did a legal seminar on code of conduct bylaws. A presentation on smart cities using artificial intelligence to gather data on different aspects of the community, from everything from black knot in trees to how often someone sits on a bench. So it's more on the big city side of things, but it was interesting. And also a leadership course. What is not on my report, did have a meeting with the federal government on Friday. It was a team meeting. The mayor also participated. It was the meeting with Alberta municipalities and the federal government on the retroactive RCMP. I'm not too sure if any of other councillors attended that,
Councillor Hutchinson.
but
the one
I
with
didn't see your name on it.
Oh, and Councillor Phillips and Councillor Hutchinson
So,
both did.
So it was informative. They're just gathering information to bring back to their minister on the retroactive RCMP pay. It looks like it's going to be a bit of a process for consulting with all provinces. So it may be months before we get a determination out of the federal government.
Can I ask a question just about that topic? Because I was curious about it. We've got our normal bill already given to us for the year. We just don't have what that retroactive bill is going to be yet. Is that correct?
So they bill us quarterly, the federal government, the RCMP. The new pay raise is on that bill. So what they're currently being paid now, it's on there now. But we have not been invoiced for any retroactive pay to date.
Okay. Thank you. And that was one of the problems that we were trying to highlight to the committee, was that we do budgeting in November and they haven't given us the bill yet. Councillor Phillips.
Yeah, just to clarify, the retro pay doesn't have anything to do with the current MPSA we have with the RCMP. It's a separate issue with the federal government, and that's why the invoice hasn't been sent out yet, because once an invoice is sent out, it has to be paid within 45 days. And the details still aren't sorted out yet. So that's why it's in limbo.
Thank you.
For Ledge Services is busy. Ms. Breeze is very busy, considering her department is now at 50% capacity. But she is working on an FCSS bylaw that's to update it for having junior members on the board, I guess is the term, working on the hate policy, and we're looking at that. We do have an anti-racism policy, so we're actually looking, can we just use that as the template for the hate policy council has requested, and the community grant policy is also being reviewed. Of significance, we do have a large FOIP request that, as Ms. Breeze will be handling as our FOIP coordinator. We're estimating it's going to take 18 to 22 hours to comply with this FOIP request.
And FOIP is,
Yes.
what's that?
Well,
30 days? And go ahead, Councillor Phillips.
So just in regards to this, are we able to like, do we have to eat the cost on that, or can we pass that on to the individual that's asking the request?
Under the FOIP legislation, there is a fee associated with requests. The fees are established by the province. So we're estimating we'll probably get a quarter of the cost back from this FOIP request that's going to cost us to do it.
And FOIP is just free, like they're asking like a budget number or something, like they're just asking freedom of information.
I'm sure I can disclose the request. Right now, I don't think I can disclose the name. We're still validating that. But the request is for a copy of all town council emails to each other, and a copy of all town council emails to the CAO, and the CAO emails to town council from the end of October to the end of April.
So everything we've done so far.
Yes. Communications is also very busy. A lot of PR work on the recycling. We did collect 1,305 kilograms in the first week. So we are going to be gathering continuous data on that and bring that back to council for the success of the program. Another project Ms. Budden's working on is creating a nice little guidebook for council staff communications to assist in that. And that's probably the major projects. She has a lot on the go, but that's probably the major ones we're working on now. I knew you were going to ask. She did. Miss Budden is one of our strong advocates for emergency management, and she did attend a pilot course in April. And the course is to develop and enhance municipalities' understanding of the ICS emergency management system. So yes, we're very proud Ms. Button got selected for that. So if council has any questions on the report, be glad to answer.
I don't have any questions. Does anybody else have any questions for Mr. Crowe?
I know I should know this, but do we know when the information for Kick It to the Curb is coming out? I know that I've had a few questions about it, and then there's some people are making things up so sooner.
Absolutely. It was included in this month's utility invoice that should be hitting people's physical mailboxes, maybe even today. Those who get electronic billing would have had it late last week, and that will be ramping up in the coming weeks. First 2 weeks of June is when I really have a focus on it.
I have a question. Local papers.
My understanding is they're looking forward to timing that with Environment Week, which is sometime in early June. So that's what I can do, but we do have advertising booked as well.
Okay, but still haven't been able to put anything to explain what's happening with the share shed or
They've, excuse me.
Not for free. Okay. know it's in the bill this week, but we did just have like a couple emails and I'm still getting asked, what's going on with the share shed?
The comms plan is approved by council, had a fairly limited budget because I had to work it into the existing advertising budget of the municipality. I guess if council directs you'll have to help me out here, Mr. Kraus. Yeah. So I'm doing what I can with the budget I have to
Okay.
get the word out in as many different avenues
Okay.
as possible.
At the meeting. So Counselor Hutchinson.
I remember the conversation, but I do also remember the comments about budget was already limited. I think it's been a great job done on our website. And just to get the word out to anybody, check the website because the facts are there. It's pretty clear. So, and in the utility bill as well, like you said.
Excellent. Thank you very much. That's all the questions I had. So in order to put something in the newspaper before June, we would have to pay for that article,
Yes.
and you're out of funds for that budget
Well, I have some advertising funds, but it was,
designated for something else.
yes.
Yeah. Okay.
The share shed answer is on our website, which is where most of our materials direct people to.
Mhm.
And I can also, once again, pull it up and pin it for a few days at the top.
Thank you very much. Counselor Boniface.
Seems how it's the 17th of May and June is basically 14 days away. We could probably just hold off for another 14 days and do it in conjunction with what was presented and save our money that way.
Great. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Mayor.
Counselor Caprero.
If there's no further discussion, I will make a motion to accept the CAO report dated May 17th, 2022 as information.
Thank you very
Good afternoon, Your Worship and Council. So for my report, basically dated to the end of April, the information is there. I just have a couple of highlights that have happened since that time. So the campground is open, operational as of last weekend. And the spray park scheduled to open Friday. Water's been tested. It's nice and hot. So hours of operation will be from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. We will look at, as the days get warmer, potentially opening up an hour earlier. That was one request that came through Rec Board, and we have the ability to set the timers. So we'll look at that as it's a little nippy yet in the morning. So those moms and tots that want to get out there early, well, we'll make that accommodation as the weather warms up. The Rec Board has been making progress on the scoring matrix of the rec survey. They had a workshop and didn't get quite through it all, so we're going to wrap that up at our next meeting on June 1st, just to keep council apprised, and then we'll have something for you in September prior to budget. New signage is up on the Rocky Regional Recreation Center if you haven't had a chance to drive by. So all the signage on the outside is changed. The signage on the inside has also been changed.
And it looks great.
Mhm.
It does. It looks really great.
Yeah.
The news release goes out this afternoon.
Right. Yeah, so, yeah, I believe that's a joint news release between the town and the county. And just of note, capital projects are moving along well. And we've actually added 2 badminton pickleball courts. We painted the lines on the quick lane floor for drop-in play. Weather's inclement and people can't go outside. We've got a couple of courts now. They will open up tomorrow. So we've got a band camp in there today. So tomorrow will be the first day that they'll be there, and we'll be doing promotion of that along with the other drop-in activities that are available when the weather's not conducive to being outdoors. And so unless council has any other questions. for me,
The pickleball, is that like free drop-in, or is that there's a fee to come in?
it's the same as our other, it's a drop-in fee.
Yeah, and is that ever, that's gonna be on the website then? Like
Yeah, yeah.
I have a
yeah.
couple friends that are huge into that, and they were at the Compassionate Care Walk
Yeah, I
on
know our
Saturday, talking about, oh, they weren't gonna walk because they were so sore from pickleballing.
our recreation services manager has been promoting the drop-in activities, but now we've added the pickleball and badminton courts is an addition.
Okay, thank you very much. That's great. Any other questions or comments? Perfect, that looks
Thank you.
great. Thank you. Operations.
Yes, thank you. So as council can see by the report, I mean, we're all into spring operations there, street sweeping, potholes, and so forth. So I won't go through all of these items for council. I will bring in a couple comments. I know flags have become a topic of late. So I did check with our staff yesterday, and actually our flags were all changed out 2 weeks ago. And I think it's just got to be aware that there's flags in town that the town do not take responsibility for or own. So the flags at the fire hall are actually taken care of by Clearwater Regional Fire, and we will provide them with a new town flag that's on that site. The flags at the cemetery are actually taken care of by the Legion. So if those are any of the flags of concern, then we can address that with the Legion or the fire department. Because I think it said 8 flags were torn, but to be honest with you, I think we only have 5, 6, 9 flags total. So it's obviously flags that aren't the town's responsibility. So we'll get that out there for the public to know. We are experiencing a lot of break-ins at the Public Works Yard. We just experienced one again last night. We do have security cameras there, but that doesn't seem to be a deterrent. So we'll have to look at some different type of method to secure that site. It's quite frequent. It's at least once a month, if not more. So
Because we've had problems just across the street from that, do you think it's related to the issues that we're seeing, like just across the streets, the Women's Shelter Street, and they've been complaining about some issues there? Is there a way we could have the schedule for our peace officers maybe patrol that area a little bit more? Do you think that would resolve some of the issues?
well, the RCMP have already promised us to increase patrols there. I mean, our peace officers do drive by there quite often too. I mean, that's where our peace officer vehicles are actually parked. So they do go in there quite often. So it's just most of the theft is just from vehicles that we don't have room to park inside the shops at night. And other items that are just around the site itself. But it's been an ongoing concern for quite a few years. This just seems to be getting more frequent. So.
Right.
And council has any other questions? Be glad to answer.
Notice one of the things here was playground maintenance. I noticed crews out last week. I think they were raking into the trees and that.
I would have to verify that, to be honest with you. but-
I don't know. I just have an idea that doing this, that would save the community a lot of manpower for doing that. It's equipment that we've used in the past ourselves, and we can speak about it another time, but I just wanted to know if that's what was happening, so.
I didn't see at our park. We don't have any leaves. They don't make much leaves in ours. Okay, well, thank you very much. So if there's nothing further, we'll move forward to department report from planning and community development.
Good afternoon, everyone again. Just a few highlights in regards to my department. We still continue to do the clean energy improvement program. 3 agreements have been signed. There's 7 in the application in progress. So we still have 7 more to go for this year. And we get probably daily or weekly inquiries from potential participants, but also other communities inquiring about how the program works as well. So I guess we're a leader when it comes to the SIP program. Also Realtor, I'll bring it to your attention, Realtor property requests. There's 74. I think that's reflective of the real estate market within our community. We do get a lot of inquiries from the real estate agents in regards to properties that are being sold or on the market. Another thing is Creekside house fire. We actually today, there's a request for quote for it to be removed and disposed of. So we're almost there. I know it's been a long process, but hopefully by the middle of June, it will be disposed of. So.
And then that fee goes to the property owner, not to the rate, like not.
Well, what will happen is that we'll incur the cost and put it on the tax roll.
Thank you.
And then the tax roll will be looked after when that lot is sold by the owner.
Thank you.
Okay. In regards to the economic development and tourism, EDO attended the Chamber of Commerce Business Award. County and town, we worked together in regards to doing a tourism award, and Gila Ventures got the award from our 2 officers. When I say our 2 officers, county and the town's officers, they determine who should be the winner for that. So congratulations to Gila Ventures. As far as the community, EDO continues to work on the Canada Day planning. It's an important event for our community, as well as Marketplace on Main still a go. June 23rd is our first market for this year. Health and safety, our 4 staff members still continue to do their studies for their internal audits. I believe one of them got 99% on her submission, so congratulations to her. And the other 3 will finish theirs, and then we'll have 4 internal auditors within our organization. Just also our staff members continue to train for health and safety. 13 staff members from the engineering operations direct departments were certified in fall arrest, scissors lift, and boom lift. So that's good that we're continuing our training for health and safety. Protective services, just a couple of highlights. Officer Whistle was trained in crime prevention through environmental design. That means we're going to promote it to the residents and businesses within the community, where one of our officers can go out and help that individual or business evaluate their surroundings to make it less attractive for someone to steal and rob or do a theft from, or vandalism and that type of stuff. So we will be offering that service from Officer Whistle. Our previous CPO, Officer Ward, also had that training, but he left in the last 18 months. So we certified a new officer to do that type of program for the community. Also, I'd like to bring your attention to one of the CPOs stopped a vehicle in the school bus zones running flashing reds. So, which isn't good.
No.
But so our officers will continue patrolling the school zones until the end of the school year. Just one other thing is, Mayor Bates, you asked on April 19th for regarding the collection rate in regards to fines.
Ah,
Yeah,
yes.
we estimate about 80% is
Oh,
what we
great.
collect, yeah, for that. Any questions in regards to my department?
Your worship, I'm just going to add on to Mr. Schwader's report there for where you said at the beginning with our SEEP program. Just to make council aware, actually, so the town is being recognized for being a leader in that program. We've been reached out from the city of St. Albert, and actually a St. Albert newspaper is going to interview Miss Button on the SEEP program in Rocky. So it's going to give us some nice exposure there too.
Yeah. Okay. That sounds great. Councillor Boniface.
Getting comments, we had brought up the concerns with the Wild Rose Women's Shelter, and your office, people are phoning me and letting me know that your officers are making just a quick trip through the back alleys of all the housing over there, and they wanted me to pass on a thank you and a thank you to your officers, please.
Okay, I'll pass that on.
Great, thank you. I had a question on that program. That's really good. I know we've put a lot of time and effort into that, and then we get a portion of, like, we get a fee for doing all the processing of those applications and that. Do you feel that that is paying for itself?
Well, we do get administration fee from the program that covers our expenses for our staff purposes. So yeah, there's, I think at the end of the day, if it's if we're a leader in environmental sustainability for the community, I think it's well worth it. So
yeah. I just know that how much work you've been putting into it and how much time. And so, I just wanted to see if it's covering itself.
Yeah, Mrs. Hartling has been putting a lot of effort into the SEEP program over the last 18 months to 24 months.
Yeah, and your worship, I think it's worthy to note is because we were a leader in doing all the agreements with the provincial government and the federal government actually also, we did receive a grant through FCM. And so a lot of our administrative costs in developing this program have been covered.
Oh, great. That's great. I had one further follow-up. There was, I just never saw a reply back. Do we have a bylaw for noise in our community?
Oh, we did follow up with that.
I just never,
sorry.
never got the information.
Yeah. So no, we do not have like Sarah decibel like reading or like that. It's just more or less the officers, if they notice loud noises, they will engage that individual to let them know that your muffler or whatever. But as far as noise wise, I don't know under the Traffic Act, as far as Alberta, there might be something, but I'm not aware of it. But I can bring back information at the next meeting if that's what you like.
They seem very
but
concerned.
Again, we did follow up with the gentleman that inquired.
Okay,
Sorry about that.
I just never caught the answer then.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, your worship. Yeah, I can go through them if council so wishes. So the ones that are not currently complete. So the hate symbol bylaw, Ms. Breeze is working on that right now. As we said in the CA report, she's just looking at our anti-racism policy to see if we can modify that to incorporate that. And that would only apply to town property though, because it's a policy. The Tanis Gerke recognition request, Mr. Ament is working with the group on that right now. Minor Football Association with the outdoor lighting. We have a meeting set up in the next couple of weeks, Mr. Ament and I, to discuss the operation and maintenance of those lights, and we bring back a report to council. So that would be an operating cost of the town, possibly. The the report on edible trees. Ms. Button has that actually on her radar, and it's scheduled to be complete in June, if I'm correct. The next one, Rocky Rams Junior Hockey. Council should decide if we still want that at the next ICC meeting, as we're still currently working through airport and administration is working on Lagoon. It's up to council because that's really the whole recreation agreement. So definitely put it on the next ICC agenda if council so desires. That date hasn't been set yet. Rec master plan matrix. I believe the rec board has had one meeting on that so far, Mr. Mint. And actually Councillor Hutchinson could probably even comment more on that part of being the rec board.
Yes, we were working very hard. It's a much, much bigger job than I had anticipated. There's a lot of material to go through. We spent 6 hours, was it? 4. It was more than that. It sure felt like more.
From 11 till 3.
And we just ran out of time. We also were dealing with a couple of members that were not able to be there physically. So the next meeting, we'll hope to wrap it all up and then hand it over to Wes and his team to compile it all and be able to present it. It's work in progress.
And the final item is Lagoon Agreements. And as I mentioned in the CA report, we have met with the county, and administratively, we're trying to come to, we're working to find out a suitable percentage cost for that. And then once that's done, then we can bring it back to council for ratification and look at updating the Lagoon Agreement.
Thank you very much. Did we have any questions?
Just the current percentage is 20%, is that correct?
Under the current agreement, it was 20%. That percentage has never actually been verified either through usage or concentration. So we're looking at different scenarios. MP engineering will be sampling the sewer that comes in through the station for concentration and how that affects the treatment of the sewer and to what percentage overall. So.
Counselor Phillip, or sorry, Counselor Hutchinson.
I just wanted to send a big thank you out to Mr. Kraus for filling in a few extra roles that has been put on his plate lately, and to all the staff that have helped out with where we're at right now. So thank you.
If there's no further discussion, I will move to approve the action list as presented.
Perfect. All in favor? And that's carried.